Right now on Inside Boxing Live, joining us, the unified welterweight champion of the world, Keith one-time Thurman. Keith, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you guys today?
I can't complain. Talking to Keith one-time Thurman. I know you showed up at the Barclays Center, back in the spotlight. You took some time off. You got married. Congratulations on that. And you also had a little bit of a elbow surgery. How's the elbow healing?
The elbow's coming along. The doctor definitely said it was going to be a slow turnaround. I was disappointed. I thought, 28 years old, I should be able to bounce back. But I listened to him. I gave it rest. And when he said 6 months no boxing, I just went off and went overseas and got married to my new beautiful wife, man. So, just trying to make the best of it. It's never good when an athlete's pretty much sitting out, not being able to do their job, especially in their prime. But like I said, I traveled, I got married, and I'm just trying to make the best of it. We got a little bit more rehab to go, but I've done 1 week of intensive rehab now that I'm back in the U.S., and we're getting really positive responses. I feel good. I believe I'll be back in the ring sometime next year, February, March. We're not going to rush it, and we're still going to go. We're going to take it week by week as we're recovering right now.
That's beautiful, Keith. Happy to hear that. We saw you on Saturday night at the Barclays Center. You were spending a lot of time with Errol Spence. Of course, you can't get away from the Errol Spence. Is it strange, spending an entire night with him? You had him sitting next to him. How was that? Were you sizing him up?
No, man. I've seen him around for a long time. I've seen him around at fights and backstage at the Mayweather fights, at the MGM. I've seen him around for years. He's a decent sized welterweight. You can see it in the Kell Brook fight, because Kell Brook is a decent sized welterweight as well. But at the end of the day, being in the ring is a unique thing, and I see myself as a very diverse fighter. I'm good at making game plans and changing my game plan. So, I see him as a very competitive, a competitive fight. He's an elite fighter. But me and my team, we're confident the day that we're going to have to step in the ring and do our job, because I know I'm different than anybody he's ever faced. He can say the same thing, but that's boxing. A lot of people are picking sides right now in the welterweight division. Spence, Thurman, and some people are now throwing in Crawford, since he said he wants to move up to 147. So we're gonna have to fight it out to become the king of the welterweight division. The king is not gonna manifest overnight, but currently I'm ranked number one because of holding 2 belts and the opponents that I fought. So I'm very confident. I don't really have to talk a lot of trash. I've been here for a long time. He just acquired his world title. I feel good. I'm waiting to bounce back. When we bounce back, we're going to do it right. We're not going to be challenging champions right away post-surgery. We're just going to get back in the ring, get moving, create some good fights, and then we can talk about unifying some more titles later on.
Now, Keith, you were up at the stand there with Brian Custer on the Showtime telecast, and you talked about, just like you said here, how you're the A-side, you're the champion. And, Custer asked you the question of, would you want to fight Errol Spence? And, there's people on Twitter, I don't know if you even bother to check that stuff, but there are people insinuating that you kind of tiptoed around the question. Would you like to clear the air right now on whether you want to fight Errol Spence Jr.?
The thing is, of course, we're going to fight, but we just can't fight right now. People want to see the fight today. They want to see the fight tomorrow. The truth is that that's not going to manifest. The fact of the fight manifesting, that will occur. But today and tomorrow, the answer is no. Down the line, I see the fight happening. Like I said, we have to come back smart from this injury. We have to come back smart. We're going to get a stay busy fight, pretty much a tune-up fight, a stay busy fight, post-surgery fight, a respectable fight.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to be going up against the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 type opposition. We're going to be looking a little bit further down the line. when we get back in the ring. So that's the only thing, you know, if I seem like I'm tiptoeing around, is because I can't promise anything today and tomorrow, but I'm not going to deny that I know the fans want it, and it's a fight that I want as well. The welterweight division, I got one belt, I got two belts. Me and Spence, we have the same admiration. We want to go ahead and become the undisputed welterweight champions of the world. You know, that's something you haven't seen in the welterweight division for over a decade. It's something that Floyd never accomplished throughout his professional career, and it's something that I eagerly want to accomplish, and he's very adamant about it as well, of being the undisputed, and there's no way of doing that except for coming and seeing me. So, of course, he's very eager to talk about fighting Keith One-Time Thurman.
Yes, one thing that a lot of fans respect about you, that I respect about you, is that you will fight anyone. You've showed that in your career. Another thing during that interview that a lot of people found surprising was, I don't know if you were trying to get a psychological edge, was when you told him that, you know, Errol Spence, he might be the hungrier fighter right now. He might want it a little more than me. Was that, you know, something that you were doing to get a psychological edge? Talk a little bit about what went through your mind when you made that statement.
Well, like I said, he's injury-free, right?
Yeah.
He just got his first world title.
Mm-hmm.
He's been trying to make a stand. You know, when I first got on HBO, my first HBO fight, I called out Paulie Malignaggi, Timothy Bradley, and Floyd Money Mayweather.
Right.
That was my first televised fight on HBO. I was a 10-round fighter.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, so I called out everybody. You know, so I know what it feels like to be that guy who wants to be champion, who wants to be fighting at the top. I want to be at the top, but the problem is now I'm at the top. I'm at the top, you know. So now we're looking down at all the challengers, everybody who wants to challenge Keith One-Time Thurman. But I'm coming off of an injury, you know. It's not that I don't have confidence, but I just have to accept my reality as an athlete.
Right.
You know, that's the only thing that's going on in my mind, is that if I could stay healthy throughout this year, one, I would have been more active, and two, we could have easily started negotiating that fight for earlier or mid next year.
Beautiful.
But that's not the life that I live right now. I'm coming off of a surgery, so in the back of my head, you know, right now I still can't throw a straight right hand. And everybody wants me to talk about fighting Errol Spence. I can't throw a straight right hand.
Yeah, you know, it's just I wanted you to come on here and just clarify it and, you know, settle that, because I know that you want to fight everyone, and like you said, you're injured.
I'm living out my truth. And
right.
My truth is we're going to have to come back, and we're going to have to come back right. And when Keith Thurman gets back right, then you can throw out any challenger, and we can sign any contract.
All right, I want to ask you, when you say that, I want to ask you about Terence Crawford. You brought him up earlier in this interview. He's a guy that's, you know, cleaned out the 140-pound division. He's moving up to 147. Hasn't had a fight yet in 147, but it's a fight that fans are salivating for, is Keith Thurman versus Terence Crawford. What could potentially stop that fight from happening?
Well, I don't know. First off, let's just see what he does in the welterweight division. I know he wants to fight champions,
right?
But he's better off going after the WBO title right now. You know, I don't think he's going to get Spence right away. I don't think he's going to get. I know he's not going to get me right away. Nobody's getting me right away. And then, you know, the only person he might be able to get is the Horn from overseas. If he's eager to grab a world title at his first welterweight matchup, you know. Because he seems adamant. He says he wants to go to the top of the ladder. He said he wanted to fight me. But, you know, besides Horn, there's a lot of competition in the welterweight division. I mean, I don't know what Amir Khan's really doing with his career right now, but I believe he belongs in the lower weight classes instead of the upper weight classes. You know, you got the person I fought, Sean Porter. You got Danny Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they don't hold world titles right now, so I don't know exactly what Crawford wants to do, but he's got some great opposition at 147. And I believe the competition at 147 is far superior to the competition he's had at 140.
What do you, Keith? What do you think of Crawford? What do you think of Crawford as a fighter?
Oh, very talented. He's always been talented. since the amateurs. You know, I mean, a lot of us were and still are. You know, I remember Crawford from the amateurs going through the nationals and through the rankings and stuff. I believe he was competing at like 132, maybe a weight class below, but I think I remember seeing him at 132 when we were younger. But yeah, man, his style nowadays, he's definitely more developed. I don't remember him being so agile when it comes to switching back and forth. He might have had that trait, but I don't remember it being so predominant as it is today. So I think that might be something he's worked on with his craft and his team and throughout the years of being a pro. You know, he's got great height and reach for a smaller guy, so it allows him, it should allow him to move up a weight class and be competitive and have a decent size to where he's not being bullied tremendously by the larger fighters, even though some of us still will have bigger frames than Crawford. Good hand speed. Like the way he puts his combinations together from time to time. You know, every fighter is subjectable to being hit. But, you know, he dominated 140, and he deserves a lot of praise and respect for that. But we know that at the current moment, a lot of the competition, a lot of the people that were in 140 have already shifted to 147 2-3 years ago. So that's why I say 147 is a steeper slope to climb when it comes to overall competition. I believe that he's going to have far more challenges at 147 than he did at 140.
Keith, you're a great interview, and you're a very sophisticated fighter. I've long respected that about you. Before we let you go, while you were laid up, did you learn any new songs for your flute?
No, you know, I was trying to learn how to speak a new language.
Wow.
That was challenging, and I wasn't really good. I didn't study that hard, but I was trying to pick up little things here and there. You know, saying I was actually living with my wife's grandmother.
Okay.
So, you know, all the family stayed together.
Where was that?
In the morning, I would try to have, you know, say good morning to her and just have little basic conversations with her, and she'd speak very little English with me.
So what language was that, Keith? What language was that?
Nepalese.
Oh, wow.
Nepali is the language.
Look at you. Maybe you'll fight over in Nepal when you defend your title.
Well, I don't know. It's like almost 6,000 feet up. It was a challenge just being out there for the first month and a half, but then I got used to it. It might be a good place to train, but I don't know about fighting-wise.
All right, Keith. I thank you for joining the show. Appreciate the time, and we'll talk to you soon. And good luck with your recovery. Hope everything heals up. We're excited to see you back in the ring in 2018.
Thank you for all the love and support. You guys take care.